Hey guys, Steven from Three Swords Podcast here today with Alex. What's up, Alex? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
So this weekend we went to Blade, and we got some demo decks for a brand new game called Battle Spirits. Everyone's pretty hyped about that. And we actually recorded a couple of games with our Battle Spirits demo deck. Both of us were learning the game for the first time, so it's a little bit new for us. Let us know in the comments if we got anything wrong. I believe we got the rules right.
And I definitely got something wrong.
Well, we're going to talk about that misplay. It's super good to know, so I'm actually leaving it in the video. But, it happens sometimes. It's okay. No worries. All right. So, first thing to notice here is that beautiful spell ground. Oh my god. Who brought that?
Look at that guy who correctly, did his course.
Your cores actually look beautiful. I love the style in this game. That is actually something to note. You can bring your own pieces. I don't know if you're allowed to use like your own custom cores or not.
They said when the game comes out, there'll be core cards,
Core cards.
like Dawn cards in One Piece.
They won't be the cores?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually really, really like those cores.
Yeah, I like
so
the cores too.
that's kind of disappointing. I like the core systems like so much. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we are deciding on mulligans here. So in this game, if you do not mulligan, you actually get to draw an extra card. So right now, where Alex and I are is just kind of thinking, hey, as long as your hand is playable in some way, you should keep it because you get an extra card.
I really want that extra card.
Right, like so we actually are playing a card in our deck that is like four mana, draw two extra cards, and you can do it at flash, which is pretty good. I actually think that card is sort of playable. So I think drawing an extra card is half of a free card that you want to play anyway, so it's just super valuable.
Yeah, I feel like right now, at least with these demo decks, the game's so fast that you don't even need to draw cards. It's just like attack, play spells.
So I actually had an instance, and hopefully we'll see it in this game, where I want to attack you more. I don't have enough cards in my hand. Like, they're not actually creatures, or they're not battle spirits. Okay, so it looks like I'm putting all of my energy on my one character to make it bigger. The idea is that I would like to create a wall so that my opponent cannot attack through that wall. And I've got one card set. I believe they're called bursts.
Yeah, the strongest start I feel like is when you can slew a bunch of creatures, because the more creatures you play, the more the cost of the other creatures in your hand get reduced. And so once you get one down, you just start playing. You can end the turn. You can start your turn with one creature and end with five.
Yeah. Yeah, so those early, like we play one drops in the deck that feel really, really powerful because they cost one, they're reduced by one when you play it, and they also have a little reduction symbol on them too, so super powerful cards. Okay. With two characters on the battlefield, so Alex can actually attack now. He went first this game, so he could not attack. But now it's his second turn. He's paying his cores.
Yeah, I really like the field spell because that also reduces the stuff in your hand.
So it does have a reduction symbol on it, as well as it just giving your all your creatures 1,000 battle power, which is super neat. We had one game in our little play tests or whatever, where Alex was actually able to get out of one of my effects that says destroy something that has a power of 3,000 or less because he played that battle card and he pumped all of his characters up to 4K. It's actually kind of a neat interaction that you can do in this little demo deck here. Okay, and he swung at me for one, but he did not swing at the other one. He was able to match my 3K power with his single character. He swung higher than me, so I took the life. I actually think early in the game you do want to take one life because it does ramp your mana pretty nicely. I don't know how much in the demo decks you're able to deprive your opponent of energy. It kind of feels like you should be able to, but in just every time I've tried to take that route, it's not been rewarding.
Yeah, I feel like if I try to aggressively go after life, I just get
Yeah, you'll get.
the crackback is way harder.
Yeah, depending on my hand, like I could just vomit everything in my hand onto the board and swing at you. You can't do anything about it. So this character actually has confront, and it's a 2K, which is really, really nice. So confront mechanic is when I attack, I actually get to choose one of your creatures, and it has to block my spirit. So it's a really nifty dinosaur there.
Yeah, that's a big punish for holding up a blocker.
Yes. Yeah, because you're wanting to say like, okay, I'm gonna be able to chump block the biggest thing, and I'm gonna at least get to save that. But no, I'm gonna exactly dictate battle. This game so far feels like a lot of battle tricks, which is really interesting when you get to dictate how the battle is going to go, how's the flow of combat going to go. And that at this time, you'll see I'm still kind of figuring the game out. I did say pass. Alex drew a card, but then I kind of changed my mind. There's no real reason to hold this character back, so I'm just going to go ahead and swing with it. And he took the life, no problem. This is a casual game. We'll see another large blunder here in a few minutes. Unfortunately, the game's still super new, so I actually don't know a lot of the cards in our hands. I do know that that is the one drop that has the reduction on it. That card is really interesting. I love that a lot of these battle spirits have one level, like a level 1 power, level 2 power, and level 3 power. It makes it seem like they have a lot of depth. I'm not sure if they do, because so far in our games, we haven't had an instance where we are pumping up our one drops to be 4Ks, but I can actually see where a couple instances where that might be good. It just costs so much resources that I'd rather just play a whole new character, whole new battle spirit.
Yeah, I like that the demo decks, they're only red. I usually play red in most card games anyway. But I love the art. I love that the demo decks are all foil. And I love that they consist of dragons and dinosaurs, which is really cool.
You know, if you were going to make an introductory product, making it all foil, giving you free sleeves, and making it dinosaurs and dragons is like the coolest shit you could do. So, I mean, they definitely did demo decks correctly.
Yeah, you gotta get sublet in on these dinos.
I know. That's how we'll sell the game to him. That and he can make a lot of money. One of those two things he's really attracted to.
He loves dinos and money.
And money. Can you imagine if $100 bill were riding a T-Rex? Oh my god. I think if I saw that, I would lose it. So I am seeing that you're holding one of the burst spells in your hand. So
yeah, I definitely should have played the landmine.
You actually drew, yeah, landmine.
If I had burst the landmine, which is like a shield trigger, kind of, then I could have taken out the Brachio for killing my blocker.
Right, that would have been a really nice counter to the confront ability. So the landmine burst says if your opponent destroys one of your battle spirits, then you can in return destroy one of theirs that costs 3k or lower. You can spend your soul core, that's the red energy you see on the screen. You can spend that to blow up instead of 6k, which is a really powerful surprise effect that you can do.
Yeah, it's really good because one thing I keep forgetting in this game is you have to assign your cores before you swing, and once you swing, you can't assign them anymore. So if your opponent, amps up one really big guy, the volcanic spell can just blow it up, and then they can't use the rest of the cores to summon stuff.
So here I'm kind of thinking, hey, my opponent's vulnerable. He's at 4. He's got one burst card. I think I know what it is already. It's probably, in my mind, it's probably a landmine. It ends up being a firewall instead. We actually were able to open up some of our promo packs, so we actually each have one firewall in our deck. But I think I know what it is, so I think, hey, if I just summon 5 characters instead of 4, I can actually win the game. I know it looks like I'm good to go with 4, but well, honestly, if it was landmine, you wouldn't have been able to play it at all, because the landmine effect
requires a creature to die.
To die, yeah. So I guess playing the 5th here was actually playing around the firewall also. Some of them are bigger. You actually see my hand doesn't have any creatures in it that I could play, so I actually played the charged card that lets me draw 2.
Yeah, Firewall prevents, if you hardcast it, any 4Ks or lower from swinging.
Yeah.
So it could, I could do it after the 3rd attack. And then you'd have 2 blockers up for next turn.
Something that's going to come up a lot is what are the level 1, 2, and 3 powers on these cards. You actually saw me put 2 energy on my larger creature, thinking that it would become a 3k if I put 2 energy on it, because a lot of the creatures in this deck do that. But then Alex leaned over and said, hey, why are you putting 2 energy on that? It actually doesn't do anything. Because you need 3 on that.
Yeah, some creatures will require like 1, 2, 3 really clean levels. But to level up for some other creatures, you need like 1, and then that card randomly goes to 4. You need from 1 core to 4 cores.
Yeah. And this game also spawns one of my favorite bands, Three Cores Down.
Never heard of him.
Also one of my favorite drinks.
Oh, I get it. Three
Yeah.
doors down.
Uh, in real time, you got the joke. That's great. Also, one of my favorite alcohols is it happens to me when I don't have quite enough energy in the game to do what I want. I'm Coors Light.
Stop the video.
Go ahead and unsubscribe. Okay, so he's reading the text on landmine, or is that firewall?
Firewall. Yeah.
Firewall. Okay.
I was like, if I play firewall on the first attack, you just get 4 blockers.
Yeah.
Which
And
is not good.
I think you're asking me about the interaction between the flash timing.
Yeah, and then
So
I was
this is
curious
actually,
about
you
the
guys
flash
let us
timing.
know. Let us know in the comments. This is actually one part of the ruling. I'm not sure if I have a burst card face down. Do I have to? I think I have to wait for the burst to resolve in order to use the flash thing. I don't think I can just use the flash. I think I have to, because the last line of burst says, and now you can pay the mana cost for the flash ability.
Yeah.
But I kind of think
I'm pretty sure
I'm
once
not
you
sure.
I would guess that once you commit to setting the burst card,
you can't
you
use
have
the flash.
to. Yeah, you can't use the
Yeah,
flash.
that makes sense to me.
Because the burst is free. It just needs to meet the condition.
Right. I mean, yeah. All of that makes sense to me. So yeah, you're kind of debating on whether you should play it first or last, I have to guess. And if you, like you said, if you play it first, then you're going to have to contend with 4 blockers, which is just going to slow the game down, really stall the whole game out a little bit. Whereas if you play it on the last attack, maybe the last point of damage that I deal to you, you're going to be able to play the firewall and then stop me from attacking for the last time.
Yeah, I think my lesson in this game is it's always good to hold up 1 blocker. Landmine is just a dead card unless you have
Yeah.
something that can die.
Landmine has straight up been like the least impressive card for me. Now you'll see like an interesting series of events that happens in a second using my own landmine. Now all of that was played under the pretense that he was able to use his landmine from hand, which actually couldn't happen. So you're going to see me recording that I lose the game, but I actually do win the game because he makes an illegal play. Okay, so here he's going to pay the cost as well as the soul for landmine from his hand, and he pays his red core. Actually, funny enough, he doesn't even pay the red core. Beautiful, you don't even use your red core. You have to use the soul core for that. In order, for the burst ability, you pay 0 and you can destroy a 3K. But if you pay your red soul core, you can destroy up to a 6K.
Oh, that's for the volcanic card, not the landmine. I played the landmine first, and then I gave up the soul core.
Oh, okay. Oh, you drew cards first?
No, I played the landmine and then I played the
Okay, got you.
the volcanic, which
the
was
volcanic destroyed my 6K.
so I couldn't play landmine from hand.
Yeah, you can't.
So the right play was in that case was to firewall and leave you with 2 blockers up,
which would potentially not be enough.
Yeah, and then
I was actually playing around the firewall a little bit, and I was swinging with my lowest creatures first, which was going to leave me with the 4K,
bigger walls. Yeah.
Something big enough to attack through the firewall.
Oh, 4K is not enough for firewall.
I think my character was a 5K.
I don't know.
I believe it was a 5K.
Still learning this game.
It was either a 5K or it had Awaken. I think it might have had Awaken.
Yeah.
Either way, I was like planning for that to be like the final attack.
Yeah, with this game, once you go to 0, you're dead. Not like One Piece, where you gotta attack 1 more time.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for Battle Spirits. Obviously we make a lot of mistakes here. This is like one of the things that excites me the most about a new card game, right? Is like you make a lot of misplays and you kind of figure out all the little nuances to the mechanics, and then you get better and better at that, and then you suddenly, like right now in my growth with this game, I don't recognize any of those cards except for the blue dragon looking thing on the table. I know exactly what that card does, but the rest of them I kind of don't even know what they do. I'm not really recognizing.
Ironically, the blue card's the vanilla, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really recognizing many of the cards.
But, yeah,
like
that
what they
pick
do,
card lets you grab stuff from the grave, so I ended up just building a whole
Yeah.
board of attackers.
Oh yeah, that card is so nuts, being able to just put something back in your hand. Yeah,
Yeah,
these
it's
these are nice
expensive.
little aggro decks. If you guys have the ability to get some battle spirits demo decks, you should do that. It's a nice little thing to just have around. I mean, the
Yeah, I
box.
wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these cards are, gonna be meta when the game comes out. Not that I know anything about set
Until we see the
one,
starter decks and they're just crazy, super cracked. I mean, maybe, but
but this game
I,
should be called Battle Tricks.
this is kind of battle tricks the game. I mean, I'll definitely be building decks that are more control-y. I don't like the aggro approach. It feels very all in. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll probably build control or whatever the equivalent is. Seems cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the other colors, other creatures.
I will say something that you've identified. Five or two things. One that you identified. One that I identified. 5 life does not feel like enough life. It is scary out there. You put the battle spirits on the board, and you're like, we're going to fucking war.
Yeah, the tiniest guy can take a life, which seems to
Yeah,
be
like a single 1K.
a problem.
I don't know. We're gonna see how. I mean, but then again, right now, at least as far as we understand the rules, if I were to block an attack, I don't tap. I don't engage my character in anything. He can just actually block
Yeah,
two
yeah.
times.
So I think it is a lot about the blockers,
So,
because if you don't have at least one guy on the field blocking, your opponent can easily summon five guys and
well, like
just go after
there
you.
is some battle spirits even in the demo deck I believe that we opened that have 7K power. You have to you have to really suit them up, but they have 7K power. Like, what are you going to do
Yeah,
against an opponent who just says, "I put the 7K down. I don't do anything else. I'm not going to tap this. I'm not doing. I'm just. It's just my wall."
yeah. Because
Um,
guys, there's a lot of creatures that just don't go that high.
and you just can't win the game at that point. Like, you have to interact with them in
So
some way, but you can't. So yeah, I mean, maybe we're misunderstanding the rules for the blocking mechanic, but that seems really really cracked if you can get to that point. So yeah, there's a lot of nuances in the game. I'm excited to see it out. So.
yeah, I'm excited to learn more about the game, see more cards.
Well, thanks for joining us as we played the demo decks for the first time. If you guys are still here, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and check out some playlists that are here. If you like One Piece content, it should be on the screen right now. Thanks, guys.